Welcome to class, everyone. Today's lesson is the learning deficit.
My name is Lee Hicks, and I have $26,000 in student loan debt.
My name is Colby Bender, and I have $35,000 in student loan debt.
My name is Jay Smith. I have $41,000 in student loan debt.
What do you get when you take $23,000 in student loan debt, multiply that by 6.8% interest annually, and add in unemployment? Anyone? Let's work out the problem.
But for those who are just starting off, it's a whole different ballgame, especially undergraduates, right? So you come out with this $23,000 in debt, and there isn't a $30,000 a year job waiting for you somewhere, right? So you're behind already, and it's very, very difficult to catch up because there's another group of people coming out of college who are going to be applying for the job. You guys were told, and students in the early part of this century were told, just go to the federal government and borrow the money. Go to Fannie Mae, go to Sallie Mae, go to your bank, just go borrow the money. Takes you 30 years to pay it back. You borrow it 3% interest rates, and you just saw this thing last summer when the interest rates, because there's a cap on those interest rates, they go up to 6, and then right now President Obama has to argue to get it back down to 3, right, to keep it at 3. Well, all of those things are happening, and so that's where the problem is.
So after all of this, what do we get? A debt crisis waiting to happen that could threaten the financial futures of an entire generation of graduates. Let's try a little experiment.
The number of people going to college and the amount it costs are both going up each year without signs of stopping, but the employment rate for graduates is only 47%. Leaving most of these students without a job either in their field or otherwise. Now, assuming that the graduates that get jobs can pay back their loans, let's remove them from the experiment. The rest of the recent graduates are now carrying thousands in debt with no way to pay them back at an interest rate too high for them to catch up to, often even when they can get a job. So now we have students unable to find work with insurmountable debt, and they can't do anything about it. Relief isn't coming. The problem is just getting worse.
Well, the short answer is you get a lot of poor and underemployed graduates. The long answer is, well, a bit longer.
If it is going to be such a standard flat rate, then it should be that way for everybody, whether that's a public institution or that's a private business. If it's in terms of the federal government, everybody should be treated the same.
The job prospects, or I guess the lack thereof, kind of makes the price tag of my student loan debt even bigger than what it is. People should be able to have a little bit less interest rates, especially college students who are obviously trying to progress not only their lives but society as well by having specialized jobs. I think that we should be able to be given a little bit of a break, even if it's just somewhere closer to what corporations can pay in interest rates. That would be great.
I think that the government, at least the federal government and state governments, they've succeeded in making college more affordable for people, but it hasn't made it less expensive. They've been able to give money, they've been able to give loans and grants, and people are lucky enough to be offered that. In addition to the high student loans that I've had, I've gotten a lot of grants too. So it's made it more affordable. I don't know what the government could do to make college cheaper.
You've heard the facts. You've listened to the experts. You've even heard how student loan debt can affect students' lives. The next person in the White House, the next governor of your state, any elected official could play a part in making the plight of student loan debt better or worse. Your homework is to pay attention and vote. Because remember, if you abstain, you can't complain.